fake disability epidemic. Oh wait, funny story about this guy Meat, whatever. I have his gamer subs thing. It's called the Raw Meat. Alright, let's see what he says.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're going to be talking about one thing I think a lot of people think we do on this channel. Fake disabilities. Living with a disability can create
me with autism. Except I'm actually autistic. I'm just undiagnosed.
Significant challenges in one's daily life. Not only do you have to adapt to physical and cognitive limitations, but the entire process can take on you financially, emotionally, and even socially. Of course, many people are still able to thrive and live a great life even when living with a disability, which has bred a wholesome genre of content on platforms like TikTok, where you get to see people living with shit and also just being like, I don't give a fuck, dude. It's my
funny story about women in wheelchairs. They can actually still get pregnant. I know this because one of my aunts is in a wheelchair, and at one point I asked her, I was like, out of curiosity, like, does it still like work? And she told me, she was like, yeah, it does. The only thing is they can like feel, obviously, but like they can still get pregnant because like the only thing is that there's a severance in like the spinal cord, but like your ovaries and shit like that, they still work. Does that make sense?
My life and it's now or never. I'm gonna live with a disability. These videos showcase people with disabilities excelling at certain tasks, spreading the message that their condition doesn't limit them from doing what they want to do.
Shit.
And it opens up a conversation about how society looks at people with disabilities, discussing things like employment, discrimination, and accessibility issues. While most people wouldn't wish these conditions on their worst enemy, they would gladly play the part for a day if it means gaining something in return, like streamers who pretend to be paralyzed for pity donations.
No, that's the craziest thing. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know the story, this guy for years was talking about how he was in a wheelchair, okay? For years. And he would always farm donations. Oh, guys, I'm paralyzed. Please, I need donations, whatever. And then one day, the fucking guy decides to stand up and walk away on stream for no reason. And then everyone was like, what? No, that was the craziest shit ever when it happened.
Oh my god.
That's why today we're going to take a look at people who fake disabilities with motivations that range from financial gain to freaky and bizarre perversions, because it's a Papa Meat video and we go there. Sorry. So without further ado, today we're talking about people who fake disabilities. People have been using this wave of positive disability content for something far more sinister, like the birth of AI Down syndrome thirst traps. Just had a stroke. Holy shit. It's become a trick.
Dude. Imagine you're talking to like a girl, right? And you're like, oh, I'm kinky. And she's like, oh no, I am too. And he's like, nah, you're not kinky like me. And she's like, no, I am. Like, I like getting choked. I like getting slapped. I like everything, you know? And then it's like, he looks at her and he's like, yeah, well, we're gonna have some fun tonight. So then they go in the bedroom, right? They're in the bedroom, right? He pulls down her pants. He pulls down his, whatever. And then he brings out a phone. And she's like, wait, what are you doing with the phone? And he's like, oh no, don't worry. I'm not gonna film your naked body. I'm just gonna put it on your face and put the Down syndrome filter on you. Jesus. But now we're gonna find out how fucked up it actually is. Type 1 if you've ever off to Down syndrome AI filter.
On Instagram and TikTok to use AI filters that alter one's face to make people appear as if they have Down syndrome. Accounts have been taking.
Dude, would you smash knowing Down syndrome had an ass? Like, how does
horny female thirst traps of OnlyFans content and altering them?
I'm a midget and I have Down syndrome. Dude, bro was like, yo, Down syndrome's not enough. We gotta fucking double down on this shit. What the fuck?
Disabled, using captions like, does having Down syndrome mean I won't find love? While they shake their ass at the camera and they pop.
I'm a midget and I have Down.
Pop their pussy and all that kind of stuff. And the comments are just fucking insane. Some of these boys, man, I tell you. Tell you what, they need to find God. That's what they need to find.
Jesus.
Many of these videos are being used to advertise OnlyFans accounts, which often seem to be run by fully AI deepfake models. Some of the videos being used.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's unironically a good side hustle, and it's one that I might start doing. Because if you run an OnlyFans AI account, you can literally make so much money. Like, that's a genuine side hustle. I'm not even trolling.
To promote adult content were taken from women as young as 16 years old.
That's Jesus. Because, you know, that's the real problem with AI shit, is that AI cannot make its own thing. It just generates something that's a combination of everything else it's seen, right? So when you have these, like, new humans, it's just like you take inspiration from multiple ones and you make your own. Does that make sense?
This trend has resulted in a massive spike in search terms like Down syndrome fitness girl and Down syndrome beautiful girl. Many people
Is that dude, there's literally no way. It's like, I cannot believe that Down syndrome fitness girl is an actual thing on Google Images.
are disgusted by the trend, not just over the ethical qualms of deepfaking people without their consent, but the exploitation and fetishization of Down syndrome for profit. While in most cases, the source videos are stolen by anonymous users, some creators have purposely utilized these filters to ride the wave and boost their view counts. Many have deleted their accounts upon being exposed, as their followers could clearly see that their Down syndrome randomly appeared out of nowhere when the trend started. And the issue gets even worse when you see just how many people are willing to fake disability out in the real world rather than just online. It takes a wild lack of shame to willingly do something like this. And when it comes to people that can't experience shame,
Dude, okay, realistically, bro, is it only women? Like, what if you also have, like, AI fucking, like, AI midgets, dude, with fucking, like, 13-inch fucking hammers, bro, slanging and wanging that shit around like there's no tomorrow. Like, low-key, imagine, dude.
he can hold a candle to Disney adults. That's right, baby, we're talking about Disney adults.
Did you see it?
At Disneyland parks, there used to be something called Guest Assistant Card, which aimed to accommodate guests with disabilities by creating a less stressful environment. The GAC pass allowed people to access alternate ride entrances, enjoy air-conditioned waiting areas, receive front row
So
seats.
that's
to
actually
shows.
true. When I was younger, I went to Disney at one point with my aunt. That I was telling you guys about, the one in the wheelchair. And literally, if you have like one person with a wheelchair in your party, I'm not even trolling, you literally just get in rides like that. So that's why, pro tip, if you can like... No. All right, we'll continue.
And sometimes even bypass lines entirely. People slowly began realizing that they could abuse a system in order to improve their Disneyland experience, and soon tons of people began faking disabilities to get one of these fucking cards, man. In some instances, people with legitimate disabilities started illegal businesses in which they hired themselves out to strangers to allow them to receive benefits.
Yes!
Disney adults would pay for disabled people to enter the park with them so they could get the fuck pass. Hello! The rampant abuse got so intense that Disney had to eventually change the entire system, replacing it with Disability Access Service in 2013. The pass required slightly more effort to obtain, requiring an initial meeting prior to the visit. Yeah, so they basically made it to where it's like, what is it, like a pre-check for a flight. TSA pre-check
To make sure.
Yeah, the Disney adults were like,
I don't want to participate anymore. I wait in line. It's too hard now.
Now, rather than bypassing lines, DSA pass holders would be given reserved time that allowed them to walk freely instead of waiting in long lines. Of course, this soon became heavily abused as well, and Disney eventually got fed up with people pretending to have disabilities, instilling a lifetime ban on anyone that was caught lying to receive a DSA pass, which, to be fair, I think is fair.
Yeah, if you're faking a disability.
If you're faking the fucking disability, it should be a
I
one-time.
mean, like, yeah, but at that point, why fake the disability? Just hire a disabled guy, bro. Literally go downtown, you find a guy that's, like, chilling on the sidewalk who's, like, homeless, and you're like, yo, bro, how much you making a day off donations? I don't know, 15 bucks? Cool. I'll give you 100, come to Disney with me, I'll pay for your ticket, get me in for free, bro. Like, that's legit business, dude. That's capitalism, bro. Base.
It should be like, okay, no more.
I'm sorry, I hate waiting in lines.
The constant abuse of this system has resulted in the DAS passes being much harder to obtain, to the point where people with actual disabilities are turned down when applying for them. Some people have told stories of humiliating interviews where they desperately try to convince the interviewer that their disability isn't actually real.
Bro, imagine you have the most evil Disney worker. So, ma'am, you say that both of your arms got blown off by a landmine when you were 12 years old? Yes, that's true. And you say you're also married and you would never perform acts for another man? Yes, of course. Okay, cool. And now you're in your like 35s, you're 40? Yes. Why? Perfect. Me off with your prosthetic arm, and that doesn't violate the code of ethics of your marriage, but it'll also prove to me that you're actually disabled and you're not lying because it's a prosthetic and it's not your real arm that you're just painting over. Yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like some Disney employees could be fucking on another level, dude.
Only to sternly be rejected, which I think is a sign from God to say, this park's kind of fucking cringe. I think I'll just go somewhere else. Am I wrong?
No.
But I want to experience the joy they give at Disney World. I want to walk around with Anakin Skywalker.
Lightsaber?
My lightsaber, and then get an autograph from Goofy.
And blue milk?
And blue milk. And then
Bro, guys
ride
trying to
on
do the
Space
Cartman
Mountain
voice.
like a million times.
My DAS.
Bro's trying to do the
My
Carmen voice.
DAS pass.
Hell yeah. Do you think they flash it and stuff? People that have DS pass?
Sorry, I get to cut in front of you.
It's like a VIP card. Hell yeah.
I would. I'd flaunt it around. I'd peacock it a bit. Why not?
Sorry, I'm disabled.
Sorry. Sorry about that. My disability allows me to go that way.
Wait! We want to thank today's sponsor, Gamers.
Fuck today's sponsor. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's my sponsor too. Never mind. Yo guys, Gamersubs code Dantes. You get 10% off and you also support me a lot.
Sponsors on this channel. You can go to gamersubs.gg and get
Do everything he's saying, but replace his code with code Dantes.
our own flavor raw meat. That's right, baby. It's one of the best. I'm gonna say it's the best
I have that one, but you can order it with my code Dantes.
right now, and I think I need you to try it right now. It's keto friendly, sugar free, and there's non-caffeinated options if you have a little quail heart and it's too much for you. But also, Gamersubs right now has carbonated energy drinks. Move over, Red Bull. There's a new sheriff in town. They got that, ironically, is the way continuously.
All right, that's enough.
Thank you so much. Common for people to get caught up abusing systems like these in order to reap the benefits. It goes far beyond theme parks, like with a police officer that claimed $600,000 over a fake injury.
Taxpayer money!
That's why fucking money! Nicole Brown, a cop from Westminster, was on a job in 2022 when she encountered a suspect of a crime. During the arrest, the man ended up striking her on the forehead and causing minor injuries.
Dude, okay, yo, is it fucked up for me to say that I think her face would go perfectly with the Down syndrome filter? Like, but she's a bad person, so I'm like allowed to say that. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know, you fucking start flaming or you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's deserved, dude. The dude's like fucking. Does that make sense?
I don't know what that. She had only experienced minor dizziness the day the event took place. Regardless, she took a few days to recover. I mean, she was fucking struck in the head. Come on. Soon after, a doctor put her on total temporary disability, diagnosing her with severe concussion syndrome. She had spent a long period of time off work, fully paid. She accrued over $600,000 while on leave. All the while, she was left
Completely disabled.
over the whole ordeal, and it turned out that she had been greatly exaggerating her condition. During her time off, she went skiing, snowboarding, participated in a 5K race 2 times, went to Disneyland,
Hello again.
took college classes, and even attended sporting events. In a particularly absurd...
But like, how can you be that stupid? In all fairness, to accrue $600,000, she must have said that she was off for like 5 years. But like, then just tell yourself, you know what? I'm gonna be off for 5 years, and I'll take time to like learn stuff at home. But if you ever get investigated, and they're like, wait, is she actually disabled? And they see you fucking running a 5K, use your brain, dude. What the fuck? How are these people so stupid?
revelation, the investigation found that she had attended Stagecoach's musical festival, dancing and partying alongside thousands of people. She was put on a virtual meeting during an investigation where her stepfather spoke for her, claiming she was unable to process words or thoughts on her own.
Daddy, I need you to speak. I can't.
She was ultimately admitted to an inpatient center for victims of
No
traumatic brain
way.
injuries. She was revealed to be faking her disability. She was convicted of various charges relating to fraud and faces up to 22 years in state prison. I just gotta say too, at a certain point, here's the thing. I think it's a line you're right. Just want to say.
No, you know what I would do? I have a way that we can actually solve the criminal problem ethically. If you face more than 20 years in jail, a lawyer comes up to you and he hands you a revolver with 100 rounds in the chamber. And he tells you, listen, you can serve your sentence and have your 20 years in jail, but there's no chance for parole. And that's it, that's all. Or we have 4 slots in this revolver that are not occupied by bullets, and if you pull the trigger and you live, we'll set you free after a year. Literally overnight, you would solve the prison problem. I'm not even trolling.
She flew way too close to the sun. And to a point, too, where it was like, I don't think we have the full picture. I bet you she was faking her disability for all kinds of stuff, getting donations. I'm speculating. $600,000 for, I mean, how long what was her salary like?
It was
just
like
seems
5
there
years.
was something to where it's like accruing that kind of wealth that quickly.
That's like 5
It's kind of
years.
crazy. You know what I mean? What, like if her salary was like $40,000 a year, to then go on meetings and be like, "Ugh," and fake that you can't speak and shit. It's messed up. Versus, I want to say that the line is also, if you get hit in the head at your job, you're like, what the squeeze a little bit of juice use out of it. Game the system a bit to where you're just like, have the government fucking throw you some shit. Also,
yeah, but no, listen. Let me explain to you guys something. Because, like, I know people that for years, like, older people, family, friends, where for literal years they were on, like, they were off work because they were on, like, I guess, disability because of their job. And let me tell you, the government does not fuck around with that shit. These fuckers will literally hire private investigators to, like, take pictures of you to make sure you're not, like, frauding them.
No, I'm joking.
This is a comedy video.
This is comedy. This is like me joking around. Nick, I need you to speak for me for the government right now.
Hello, government. Hunter can't talk right now. He's fully incapable. This is a comedy video. Give us a DAS pass for Disneyland. Thank you.
One place where having a disability can greatly improve your experience is in airports. Because of this, there has been a significant rise in flyers pretending to need wheelchairs. Because as you all know, if you've ever ridden on an airplane before, people in wheelchairs, primarily, why the fuck do old people need to fly? So I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, real talk, it doesn't change your thing that much. Like, if you're flying in a wheelchair, the only thing it does is, like, okay, you get to board first. But if you're already waiting for your gate, then, what, like, why even bother with it? You know what I mean?
Don't even put that in. People with disabilities that need assistance get on the plane, get to go first before anybody, even before the troops, Nick. See, but I've seen some people where I'm like, which is horrible for me to think, right? But I've seen one person where I'm like, this person's more in shape than I am.
Do you remember the nurse who, like, jammed the wheelchair in front of that 75-year-old guy?
Yeah, it was crazy. We've seen a lot, like, traveling for work and shit. We've seen a lot of crazy, like, stuff of people being like, you need to stop. Like, people arguing in the, like, you know, having, like, a disabled person in a chair, like, and they're fucking, like, wheeling them around and doing, it's fucking crazy, man. It's like sock and boppers or something, like hungry hippos in the fucking line there.
Well, the girl, like, helping with the wheelchair wasn't even...
Oh, no, I just had such a bad idea. That's such a horrible idea. I was gonna say, oh, no, that's really bad. No, that's really bad. No, it had to do with underground fighting rings. No, I can't say that.
Like,
No, she didn't work for any airline.
well, and the funny thing, she was like...
Instead of the Hunger Games, we have the Chroma Dome. No, I'm kidding. No.
Excuse me. Excuse me!
And the person's like, I see. Jamming the person. And they had, like, the whole Stephen Hawking thing where their legs are all, like, close together or whatever. And they were just, like, being, like, flung around in the seat, like... Even people online were like, God damn, dude, calm down. People that require wheelchairs are often given special accommodations to make their flight and airport experience more comfortable.
Jesus!
A man on TikTok abused the system to show people how you could benefit from pretending to have a serious injury. He is seen cutting lines, getting priority boarding, receiving multiple seats for himself, and being wheeled around by airport staff.
What
That's
the
a piece
fuck?
of shit. That's actually a fucking disgusting human being.
No, but people that post shit like that are retarded. Because... Not in the literal sense. Because the thing is that if flights find out about that, you can literally be put on a no-fly list, and then you're never allowed leaving the country ever again. Literal morons for that shit.
Remember at the casino, the guy in the wheelchair and the girl that they were going on a cruise ride?
Yeah, this guy had a girl on his lap, and he was like driving around. He like had his hand in the air. He's like, wee. I mean, it looked like it. It looked like he could actually have used the chair, but still, it's like I think that old boy. He was peacocking for sure. It's become much more common for people to abuse the system, which has been referred to as miracle flights, due to the passenger suddenly standing up from their wheelchair once the flight is over. Oh my God, you're healed! After a Frontier flight, one man witnessed 20 people enter the plane on wheelchairs, only for just 3 of them to be used when the plane landed. Another man posted to social media after seeing an entire family of 7 in wheelchairs being pushed around by staff.
Dude.
According to him, all 7 of them got up from the wheelchairs simultaneously on the way out of the airport. It's not
But
common
you
for
can
people to
literally
use
be put on a
wheelchairs to get
no-fly
away with
list,
things
like-
this. The internet is filled with these posts where people try to request advice on how to fake disabilities to get into concerts and other shows. One post explains how
Okay,
to show
funny story. I never faked being disabled to get perks, but I once faked being a woman to get money. Let me explain. When I was younger, I used to browse incel forums. Okay, one of them was called Brain Cells. And on this incel forum on Reddit, there was a time where someone made a post talking about how he pretended to be a girl and he got a free Starbucks drink from a guy. So then 16-year-old Dantes has a bright idea. What if I did that, but I did it for Subway gift cards so that I could use that money from the Subway gift card on League instead? So then I sat there and for about 6 months, I pretended to be a girl and send random Google image nudes. And in return, they would send me Subway gift cards that I would then use to buy skins on League. And I'm not even trolling in game. I think I made like $1,000 allegedly. This is all for entertainment purposes. It's not real.
Wanted to attend was sold out, so they decided to buy a wheelchair accessible seat as well as rent a wheelchair for the night. He starts asking around for advice on how to make it seem more believable, with tons of comments advising him on how to sell the lie as effectively as possible. People are awesome. To those that criticized him for being an asshole, he responded by saying that he had a great time, adding that people held doors open for him and bought him free beers. It's one thing to do something like this for something minor, like, I don't know, a concert, or I don't know, like when I was young and you had when you first got your driver's license pass, you go to Walmart and you get in the little rascals and drive around because you're an idiot. You're dumb. As a child, you don't realize that like this is extremely inconsiderate what you're doing. I completely understand that. You're a piece of shit and I deserve to die. Maybe not to that extent, but you know. But this pales into comparison to those who use it to satisfy their sick sexual desires. That's right. Some people will gladly fake a disability simply because they want a nice, attractive woman to change their diaper.
Look at that photo.
I know. Wait, what?
Fucking haunting. Rutledge Diaz IV, a 31-year-old man from Louisiana, was found to be paying healthcare workers to change his adult diapers. This man claimed to have special needs and was unable to take care of himself. He posted various fake advertisements online trying to lure in healthcare workers who thought that they were coming to provide home healthcare for a made-up character named Corey, described as his 18-year-old brother who was mentally and physically handicapped.
Bro, what?
Would then pose as Corey and have the worker change his diaper to fulfill his strange fetish. For this, he was charged 10 counts of sexual battery and human trafficking in 2019. One victim spoke out about it, stating, quote, "I used to believe that almost everyone in the world was internally good. In this case, I was wrong." And in 2020, he was caught doing the same thing, this time looking for a babysitter for what he described as alternative therapy. When the person arrived at the home for the act, he would hassle them to solicit the same service from another person who could take care of him. Basically, soliciting someone to change his diaper as well because he couldn't do it himself. One of the babysitters eventually caught on, leading him to being arrested from his home and charged with the attempted human trafficking yet again.
Dude,
Human trafficking.
I think for people like that, you don't even put them in prison.
I wonder what is it? I wonder why human trafficking.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm guessing because it's a sexual act.
Well, is it because also you're luring someone there with false pretenses? And it's not kidnapping, it's human trafficking maybe? Or something like that? I don't know. Put up a little blurb. I don't fucking know. This is the only time someone used a fake disability to have his diaper changed. In fact, 2 years prior, Paul Anthony McChunka was caught doing the same thing. He would pose as his own mother, calling himself Amy. Amy would tell caregivers that her son had Down syndrome, enlisting caregivers to give him diaper changes and to bathe them. During his baths, caregivers reported that Anthony would become visibly sexually aroused. Jesus. And on 5 separate occasions, he aggressively told one caregiver during bath time that his genitals were not clean enough.
A little fucking sneaky snake.
Not only that, but they were also given special instructions regarding punishments from Amy. They were told to punish him whenever he soiled himself by putting him on timeout and taking away his privileges. One worker took care of him on 30 separate occasions, even referring other caregivers to do the same. Eventually, one suspicious caregiver followed him back to his parents' house, only to find the entire thing wasn't.
Dude, Jesus, some people are fucking retarded.
He came clean when the 3 women confronted him. He was arrested over charges of sexual abuse and fraudulent schemes.
Couldn't you just find someone online, like post roleplay?
I think it's the unconsenting act.
You know what the thing about a lot of this is, though? If you have some kind of like weird kink or something like that, and there are like a lot of people that aren't willing to like go through with it, the best thing you could do, I shit you not, is download Grindr. I've never been gay, right? And I've never downloaded Grindr apart from one time for a YouTube clip. But let me tell you guys that I have gay friends where you would open that app and like within 1 second of being on it, some dude 100 meters away would say like, yo, can I come over right now and your fucking like, it's actually fucking wild, dude.
The person doesn't want you to know. The person wants to feel like they're getting something over. It's a total power trip.
I see.
If the person knows, it probably takes the joy out of this like sick game he's playing.
He's just like, they don't know I'm disabled.
Because the healthy thing would be, I don't give a fuck. If you're a guy who's like, I want someone to change my diaper, and you like have someone who's just like, hey, that gets me hard and wet too. I love changing filled diaper. That's your business, right? To have someone who's just like there to legitimately try to help you, to me, it just is even more sad. It takes a truly unwell person to justify doing something this deplorable. But what about an entire team of people faking disability? This was the case during the 2000 Sydney Games. During this event, there was a Paralympic basketball tournament specifically for the mentally disabled. People were shocked to see that the Spanish team dominated against the others, ending each game at least 15 points ahead. People became suspicious after a popular Spanish sports magazine reported on their victory. Readers started writing into the publication to say that they recognized the people on the team and that they were not disabled in any way. As pressure started to rise, one of the players started to reveal the truth. Not only was he not intellectually disabled, but 10 of the 12 players weren't as well. It turns out that the medical exams performed on the players were incredibly simple, to the point where some players only had to have their blood pressure taken and perform 6 push-ups.
Do 6 push-ups. Sir, I can only do 1. You're good. What?
Bored with this, to the point where he would instruct his player mid-game on how to look even more visually disabled during the games. Drool. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Drool, here. Like, look around.
Dude, that is wild.
Bees.
A timeout, and you have to tell people, you guys aren't
Yeah,
selling
time. You guys have got to scream more. Act like there's a beehive above you at all times. They come out of it and just like, oh, the team's really looking kind of crazed here. The Spanish Paralympic Committee eventually took away their gold medals, and the team was heavily fined.
And when I had the gold medal in my hand, when they put it around my neck, I was really, really somebody. A week passed, and they were saying that Spain had cheated, and we gotta give back my gold medal.
And of course, things can escalate to pretty insane heights.
Jesus.
People can take disability scams to an entirely new level. MS-13 went so far as to put people through spinal surgeries to fake workplace injuries into a $1 million lawsuit.
Holy shit.
That is fucking crazy. They would
What
find
the fuck?
border crossers or homeless people, drive them to the city and treat them well before pressuring them into joining their scheme. They would then put the homeless people through various accidents like falling off a ladder or falling over at a construction site, making sure to coach them on how to make it extra believable. Then they would go to a sleazy lawyer to help them set up a lawsuit, and from there they would have surgeons who were in on the scheme as well use screws and plates to fuse healthy vertebrae together. That just sent like such a shock down my spine, dude. Oh my god. Can you
Bro,
imagine,
that sounds
you're
like some
totally
human centipede shit. Don't search up if you don't know what it is.
fine. The next day you wake up and someone has like actually screwed and put plate. I mean, ugh.
Not even worth it.
No, God, no. And by doing this, they would claim that the injury that they sustained required various expensive surgeries. Business and landlords would be hit with lawsuits that would settle often for at least $1 million. They would pay as little as $1,000 for a struggling person, put them through a life-altering surgery, pocketing the rest of the money for themselves, and they made millions of dollars from this endeavor,
Jesus
with
Christ.
some insurance firms claiming up to 650 alleged fraudulent lawsuits in the past 4 years. And let's end things with a satisfying bit of karma coming from China. Zhang, a man from China, was accused of murder in 2005. He had a physical altercation with his uncle-in-law over $76 in rent, and things escalated to the point where he ended up stabbing the man to death. Once again, over a dispute for $76, which in 2005 money, that's like probably $30,000. To avoid prison, he changed his name to Wang Gui and traveled 450 miles away from his home in order to live a new life as a construction worker. To make
What
sure
the
he never
fuck?
revealed sensitive information regarding his crime, he committed to being a mute for the foreseeable future. Gwen Gui.
Bro, that's
Wing-wee.
crazy.
Oh, that's right, he's mute.
He just took a vow of silence. I killed someone. I'm not going to talk again.
Yeah, exactly. He's
And
like,
let me guess, one day he gets drunk and he
kill
starts
someone for
talking.
$76 rent. That's right, he's mute. Somehow, he was able to remarry and even give birth to a new child without breaking his mute lifestyle. Didn't have to talk to his wife.
Do you think he broke during sex?
I mean, his wife, his wife probably knew.
And after 12 years, he was approached by the police regarding a household survey conducted in his village. After realizing that he had no paperwork, he was taken in and eventually given a DA test that revealed that he was the man that committed the murder over a decade prior. Zhang tried to speak to the police and plead his innocence, but he was unable to. His vocal cords atrophied, so much over the years that he was now incapable of speaking without a pen and paper. That's some karmatic shit right there.
Okay,
He was
guys, I'm gonna say something crazy, and I want to know if you guys agree with me. I think if a guy, like in that case, for example, he kills his uncle, right? And then 12 years go by, like he has a wife, he has a kid, he's like obviously like doing well, functioning in society and stuff like that. Should they really go to prison? Like out of curiosity, Nah. No, maybe I'm the delusional one. You know what? Self-awareness is a good thing. Maybe I'm the delusional one.
Actually arrested and jailed for his crimes. It goes without saying that there's a special place in hell for people that pretend to have altering disabilities, especially when it starts to make things worse for people who actually struggle with them. Over time, stories like this lead to higher rates of skepticism over whether or not someone is actually suffering from these conditions, whether it's Disney DAS passes being denied to disability people or scummy disability scams raising people's insurance rates. Someone is always getting screwed over these selfish actions, and usually the majority of the time it's the people with actual disabilities and not the criminals that are out there trying to pass off on some weird creepy ruse. I just gotta say, don't fucking fake a disability, all right?
You think people who fake disabilities should be put to death?
Jesus, I mean I guess it's case to case. You know what?
Wait, give them the actual disability. Like if a guy's faking Down syndrome, go and like alter his DNA so that you give him the extra chromosome.
I don't know. I've seen videos. There was a video that went viral for a bit where a guy faked having a mental disability in his town, and he was just robbing people. He like asked for donations, and he apparently made like a ton of money every year. He'd sit there, he did the thing, and he even like it was like a news report.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and he's like sitting there and he's like doing his act, and then at the end he's like sitting there like joking about it, like not giving a fuck. It just makes you think, how do you like not just feel horrible?
My bead boy, I'm just playing. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta make some money. I appreciate you guys busting me. Yeah, I'm really good at it. Really good.
So
I mean, low-key, he looks disabled though.
Says, listen, if you see somebody faking a disability in this way, break their legs. If they're faking a mental disability, take a crowbar and beat them over the head. I'm joking. Also, if a guy comes up to you and he says, let's fake an injury and let's screw your spine together, you say no to that. Okay?
Jesus, that's crazy.
All right? If you're
Wait, how many fucking Patreon supporters does this guy have? What the fuck? Yo, what? Oh, it doesn't go above $15 though. That's chill. Jesus, that's crazy. All right, guys.